Close your eyes, take a deep breath in, and let it out slowly. You are safe here. You are warm. The sounds of the night wrap around you like a blanket. Outside, the world is quiet. The streets are empty. The houses are dark. But in the spaces between, in the shadows where the streetlights don't reach, that is where the stories live. Tonight's story takes us to a recording studio, a small one, in a basement, where a man sits alone in front of a microphone, reading stories to strangers, and has started to notice that something is very wrong. I have been doing this for a long time, reading stories, telling tales, sitting in this basement studio with my microphone and my script and my headphones, speaking into the dark. You listen, you fall asleep. That is the job. I tell you something frightening, and you drift off. It is simple work. I enjoy it. I have always enjoyed it. The rhythm of the words, the quiet of the room, the sense that somewhere, someone is listening. Someone is trusting me with their sleep. I have never taken that trust lightly. I have always been careful. I have always been in control. Until last week. I need to tell you what happened. I need to tell someone. I have been sitting in this studio for 4 nights, trying to find the words, and every time I begin, something goes wrong. The microphone hums, the ambient track plays sounds that are not in the file. The script changes while I am reading it. I am not imagining this. I am not losing my mind. I am sitting here, right now, at 2 a.m, and the words on this page are not the words I wrote. They are close. They are almost right, but they are not mine. It started with the script. I was recording episode 43, a story about a mirror. I had written the script 3 days earlier. I read it through before recording, as I always do. The words were mine. The structure was sound. I sat down, turned on the microphone, and began. And mid-sentence, I saw it. The next line had changed. It was still a sentence. It still made sense. But it was different from what I had written. I had written the word afraid. The script said welcoming. I stopped. I looked at the script. I looked at the word. It was there, clear, printed, as if it had always been that way. I assumed I had misremembered. I corrected it and continued, but it happened again. And again, small changes, a word here, a phrase there, nothing dramatic, nothing that would alarm a casual listener. But I wrote this script. I know what I wrote, and the words were changing. Then the ambient track. I use pre-recorded soundscapes, rain, wind, fire, night sounds. I have a library of hundreds of tracks, all organized, all labeled. I choose the track before recording. I know what it sounds like. I know every note. During the recording of episode 43, the ambient track changed. Not the sound itself, something layered beneath it. A hum, low, steady, almost subliminal. I almost missed it. I heard it in my headphones and thought it was interference. I checked my equipment. Clean signal. No interference. I listened again. The hum was there. A frequency beneath the frequency. a voice beneath the voice. I isolated it. I amplified it. It was saying something, over and over, in a whisper, the same phrase. I am here. I am here. I am here. I stopped recording. I turned off the equipment. I sat in the dark studio and breathed. I told myself it was fatigue. I had been working too hard, too many late nights, too much time alone in this basement. I needed rest. I needed daylight. I needed to step away from the microphone and remember that this is just a job, just stories, just words. I came back the next night. I opened the script for episode 44, the script I had written the day before. It was different. Not entirely. The outline was the same. The characters were the same, but the words had changed. Sentences I had not written appeared between the ones I had. They were smooth, natural. They fit. They read as if they belonged there. But I did not write them. They were about me, about this studio, about the microphone, about the act of speaking into the dark and having someone listen. They were intimate. They were precise. They knew things about my life that I had not told anyone. The name of my first pet, the address of the house I grew up in, the sound my mother made when she was angry. Details that no one else could know. Details that were in the script, written in my handwriting, but not by me. I recorded anyway. I am a professional. I read the script. I spoke the words. I delivered the story. And as I read, the ambient track played. And beneath the rain, beneath the wind, beneath the crackling fire, the voice spoke. I am here. I am here. I am here. It was louder now, clearer. Not a whisper anymore. A voice, steady, calm, patient, as if it had been waiting, as if it had been watching, as if it had been listening to every episode, every story, every word I had ever spoken into this microphone. And now it wanted to speak back. I finished the recording. I listened to the playback. The story was there. My voice was there. The ambient track was there. But there was something else, a third layer, beneath my voice and the track. Another voice, speaking, narrating, telling a story that was not in the script. It was telling the story of a man who sits in a basement studio and reads stories to strangers. It was telling the story of me, and it was accurate, terrifyingly accurate. It described the way I hold my pen, the way I lean into the microphone when I am afraid, the way I listen to the playback with my eyes closed, searching for mistakes. It described this moment, right now, me, sitting here, writing this. It knew. It had always known. It was inside the stories. It had been inside them since the beginning. Every story I told was a door, and I had been leaving them open. I do not know what it is. I do not know where it came from.